Yeah, I'm very
So
grateful that I was even invited. And I'll be honest, I joke about this now because one, I don't even know why I was invited. To be completely honest, I don't know why I was invited. And two, I this is really sad to admit, but I mostly went because I had never been to Austin before. I was like, oh, I've never been to Austin. That sounds fun.
your
And it
wife
ended up
came too,
changing.
right?
Yeah, well, I just told my wife, I was like, hey, this DJ thing's happening. Let's go do a trip, and then I'm just gonna stay and do this DJ thing. Ended up changing my life. I swear to God, I put this on everything. This ended up changing my life, but I didn't understand it at the time. So DJs, you really need to be paying attention to this, and I really feel like you should be going to this. Brian, tell us how you came up with the idea, what inspired it, and kind of what they could expect at it.
Well, it's definitely morphed over the years. The first one, we didn't know what the hell we were doing. So it was really just a text message between Jason Janai, one of the DMS editors and amazing DJ himself from SE Event Group. He, myself, and Joe Bunn, who's out of Raleigh. The three of us were just kind of texting about I actually, how I came up with it initially was I was on a plane doing my receipts and sending them to my bookkeeper. And I was looking at the travel and all of the trade shows I'd been to that year. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I think I just spent like almost $10,000. Like it was one of my highest line items next to like gear. And I'm just like, what did I get from that? Like, not much. Like, and it's not that you can't get things from other shows. I just felt like at that point in my career, I had seen and listened to a lot, and there wasn't as many nuggets as I used to get. And that's just natural, right? Because it's like you're growing as a DJ, you're getting better and better, and pretty
Well,
soon you realize, yeah,
to interject real quick. This is why I think I didn't take it seriously, is because I felt like I was already doing the most with my career, and I just was like, oh, another DJ thing. I didn't know it was going to change my life, and what you guys had like really prepped. And I mean, this is just throwing it, giving you guys compliments, because it is really awesome. Like the nuggets you get from it is amazing. So I feel like you guys have like really morphed it and taken it like 4 levels up. I mean, really high. So it's good. Anyways,
yeah.
sorry.
No, you're good, man. So the first one was in Austin, obviously, and we Jason and I and Joe just thought of like, what 12 people can we bring to this place that would fit in this Airbnb that we rented? And Jason's like, hey, this guy Drew, you got to invite this dude. He's actually a really, I'm like, I never heard of this guy. I'm like, he's like, yeah, you got to know him. And he's like, he's from Cali. He's going to be cool. And I was like, okay, he's from Cali. All right, let me bring him in. So he came out, and you knew a couple of guys, Jeff and Chris, I think, were two people
And Alex.
knew, so. And Alex Nepa, yeah.
Yeah.
So that one was just really intimate, and it went so well that we like, hey, let's do it again next year. Everybody was in again, and we said, let's do it somewhere else. Let's just like go to another city we hadn't been to. So we went to Tampa. We extended the guest list to like 40 people, and it sold out again. Like all 40 people were like done in. And so we're like,
wait.
Frick.
I'm sorry. A little bit more. I want to get a little bit more in depth. Where does the background, like you were texting them and you were spending the money on it, but you had a little bit more. There was something involved too, right? Was it Engage that kind of tipped you off to this?
I mean, that was because I had just started going to the Engage at that time, and I realized like, holy cow, this is a whole nother level of not just education, but people that you're meeting. Like it was like Engage is so different than any other show, if you will, in that it's not just about the learning, it's also about relationship building. And I call that not networking either. It's like really is relationship building, like where you're actually booking business and collaborating, and like people that are competitors, you're actually working with them. And I was like, man, that would be so cool to see that kind of come out of this. And so sure enough, man, like that was kind of the gist, was like, let's come up with something that's really 301 level. I don't know if this is the best of the best, but like, let's just try to bring the best people that we know that can bring this kind of like energy, that want to push forward, and like bring in some planners, some different people. And sure enough, man, like that's kind of how the genesis of it, and it really kind of grew it from there. So go ahead.
As somebody who hasn't been to the collective yet, and it's just it's one thing that I want to go to. It didn't work out for me this year, but one of the things I really wanted to say, and that I think this is a big compliment, is I've seen and I've known Drew since the first collective, and other guys that have gone to the collective as well. one of the biggest compliments I think I could give is those guys that have gone, watching their businesses transform on social media and seeing what they've done to seeing where they're at now is amazing, the difference. And
Yeah.
I think that what Drew's saying, you guys, if anybody that is serious within their career of DJing, this is something that it could be such a huge benefit. I don't even know, I know a lot of it's mobile and private, but there's so much to be gained from this. And this goes back to what we were talking about last week with Scooter a little bit, is there are things that private event DJs can learn from club DJs, but there are things club DJs can learn from private event guys as well. And I'm telling you, watching people's businesses transform that have gone to the collective and just being around a like-minded group of individuals and what that has done. And again, just seeing it is crazy, and how it's evolved. Everybody's stepping up their game because of what you guys are doing.
Yeah, man, it's crazy. And to your point about the club DJ thing too, like there wasn't really a place for club DJs to go that were doing like high level club work, like working stuff. Not like, I'm not talking like Tiesto level, but like, the working guy that is also doing some private event stuff. So we wanted that to be part of it. And so having like Scooter and Drew there, it was really cool. Last year, Scooter did like a whole production workshop, which people like minds were blown on how to, do some of the edits, not exactly like him, but just some of the resources and tools that he was willing to give. And there's just this ethos of just like sharing that's there. No one's holding their cards in, which is kind of cool. Usually you see a lot of DJs like, I'm keeping this record or I'm keeping this secret from everybody. And you realize that like at the end of the day, like if someone really wanted to grab that, they would anyway. And it's like, it's how you play it. It's how you perform that makes this all different. So them having my library wouldn't make much of a difference because they're not going to play it the same way, so that spirit of collaboration and wanting to share is kind of where it's at. And so now we're in our 4th year, and we had to cap it at 100 this year because of just feeling like the space wasn't really big enough. And I think there's a little bit of like being able to find these boutique little style hotels is kind of cool because it's like you have the run of the place. You don't feel like you're in this big old casino. And we're all trying to find like these really like, I don't know, just places that have a cool vibe that aren't like your box Hiltons or Marriott's or whatever. So we've been finding spots that have a really cool like feel to it. Would you agree, Drew? Like the spots are kind of
100%. I mean, I can't speak highly enough about this. It is one of the things I look forward to every year. So,
right, guys, make sure y'all hit the like, subscribe, and the bell icon for more Drew and Few Show content. Thank y'all for watching.
The Drew and Few Show.